So now I just want to tell you about the extended Diffie-Hellman algorithm. And the reason I want to tell you about that is because it kind of tries to address the issues with the Diffie-Hellman algorithm. It basically improves upon it. So without getting into too much maths or too much technical details, from a system design perspective, let's try to understand why this is better. So all the same things happen, which is generation of public and private key at both sides, sharing of public key of user A, and then sharing of public key of user B, and then they create a shared key at both sides. The only difference here is the key is ephemeral, right? It's not a permanently shared key. That means multiple times we'll have to keep creating keys. And when does that happen? So the main thing that changes in extended Diffie-Hellman is that every time a new session is initiated between the two parties, we will have to create a new key. And this makes it extremely secure. So there's also one more thing which happens here, which is the keys are shorter, so computation is less resource intensive. And we'll talk about why and how this happens. And this is great for ultra-secure communication, where parties don't have to communicate regularly, right? So if keys are shorter, every single time you start off a new session, new keys are being generated, they're ephemeral, they're not permanent, great for parties that don't communicate a lot regularly. And this has something called as forward secrecy. So even if someone steals your private key, the past session keys remain safe because for each session, there is new keys being generated, and the future keys are also secure, okay? So the hacker is only able to read the messages from that particular session for which he's hacked the keys. I want to take a quick minute to share something very important with you. As you move up in your engineering career, DSA and coding become less and less important, and system design becomes more and more important. To the extent that if you're going for a director, VP, or CTO position, the only thing they're checking for are your system design skills, because they assume that since you've spent so much time in the industry, you're very good with coding and DSA. Now, there are many resources on the internet for basic system design, but there isn't much for advanced level system design or using system design skills to actually work with complex systems. And this is why I've built a 3-month advanced system design cohort. If you're someone who has some experience in the industry and you resonate with this problem statement, you might want to fill the form that's in the comments and in the description of this video. 20 people have already joined up in this cohort. We'll check to see if you're a good fit once you fill the form, and we'll set up a time with you. Now let's get back to the video. So the Diffie-Hellman key exchange algorithm is basically extended in the sense that you can have more parties. So this is why it's called the extended Diffie-Hellman algorithm, right? You can add more parties, or basically group chat. So you can essentially scale the same math that we saw to n number of parties. So earlier we had A and B, but now we also have C. So we have A is equal to G raised to A, mod P, B is equal to G raised to B, mod P, C is equal to G raised to C, mod P. These are all the 3 different public keys for all these 3 different users. And once the public keys are shared between all these computers, they all arrive at the same shared key, which enables them all to communicate with each other for that session alone. So the extended Diffie-Hellman algorithm introduces the concept of ephemeral keys, which are meant only for those sessions. It also enables you to extend the maths for multiple different people so that you can have group chats, let's say, or TLS connections between multiple parties. And this can scale all the way up till n. So I've just shown you for 3 users, but it doesn't have to be for 3 users. It can scale all the way up till n, and where n can be any number. Now the second part here, which was keys are shorter, right? So there is another version of the extended Diffie-Hellman algorithm, which is actually dependent on elliptic curve. It's called ECDH, or elliptical curve Diffie-Hellman, where we use this equation, which is the equation of an elliptic curve. Now, I won't get into elliptic curves. It's a huge topic on its own. If you're into cryptography or into cryptocurrency or blockchains, you will need to read a lot about elliptic curves. But this is the equation that governs elliptic curves. So when you have elliptic curves, you're able to create much shorter keys, because you don't have to have a hugely insane prime number. Like in this case, we'd have to have P, which will be a very large prime number. You don't have to do that if you rely on elliptic curves rather than this sort of maths. All right, so now we've understood a little bit about extended Diffie-Hellman algorithm. So how do you improve upon this? There is a way to improve upon this. So let's take a look at that in the next video quickly.